Good morning, students. This is the lecture 4 of polynomials. We have seen some basic concepts on this topic in the previous lectures, and in this lecture we are going to study what is meant by remainder theorem. Okay, let us see it. So, remainder theorem, as its name implies, what this theorem is going to tell us? This theorem is going to tell us how to divide a polynomial with a polynomial. So, how to divide one polynomial with another polynomial is what this remainder theorem is going to tell us. So what is this theorem, how it is useful in polynomials, what to find, and let us try to apply this theorem to various problem statements also. Let us study all the things step by step, but before everything let us first see what is meant by this theorem, what this theorem is telling us. Okay, so let us see the steps to understand this remainder theorem. So at very first we will see, we will take an example of divide polynomial p of x by g of x. Let us consider one polynomial p of x and one more polynomial g of x, and let us say that p of x is to be divided by g of x. Then how to divide it? Okay, we have to follow some steps before doing this division. Very first step is, whatever polynomials are given, here two polynomials are given, one is p of x and one is g of x. P of x is to be divided by g of x. So I will say p of x is a dividend polynomial, whereas g of x is a divisor polynomial. So these two polynomials are there with us. Now what we have to do is, in very first step, arrange both these polynomials in the descending order of the degrees of their terms. For example, in p of x, if you can see, there are three terms: x, 3x square, minus 1. Which is the highest degree? In which term? 3x square. Its degree is 2. So let us write 3x square first. Okay, write these terms in the descending order of their degrees. So p of x would be written as 3x square plus x minus 1, and g of x is written as x plus 1, because the degree of x is 1 whereas the degree of 1 is 0. Okay, so in first step we have to write both these polynomials in the descending order of their degrees. Now what to do in the second step? Now what we have to do in the second step is, divide the first term in the polynomial p of x, that is the dividend polynomial, divide it by the first term in g of x. Okay, so what was the first term in p of x? It is 3x square. What is the first term in g of x? It is x. So divide 3x square by x. What you are getting? It is 3x, because x in the numerator is getting cut down with the denominator. So what is the result? It is 3x. 3x is the result. Okay, now consider this 3x as the quotient of your division. Okay, and the division is to be written as below. So 3x square plus x minus 1 is the dividend, whereas x plus 1 is the divisor. And what is your quotient? That you found out in the step 2. Write the quotient in place of quotient. Now multiply this quotient with every term of the divisor. For example, the first term in the divisor is x. Multiply it with the quotient 3x. What is the answer? 3x square. Now write this term in the dividend below the first term of your dividend, 3x square. Below that write 3x square. Now multiply the second term in the divisor, that is 1, with 3x. What is the answer? 3x into 1 is 3x. Now write this term below the second term of the dividend, that is x. So write 3x below x. Now subtract, as you know the division, rule of the division, whatever the result we are getting, we have to subtract it from the dividend. Okay, so I have here subtracted minus 3x. 3x square would be written as minus 3x square, because it is to be subtracted. Again 3x would be written as minus 3x, because again it is to be subtracted. Okay, so 3x square minus 3x square will be 0, it will be cut down. What is the remainder? It is minus 2x minus 1. This is the first step. That is a third step, but this is how the first step in the division is to be calculated in this way. Now next step is step number 4. Now whatever remainder we got in third step, let us treat it as your new dividend. This is now your new dividend. Now what we have to do in step 4 is try to get second term of the quotient. How we are going to do this? Get this, that divide now the first term in the new dividend with the first term of your divisor, that is x. Okay, now what is the first term in your new dividend now? It is minus 2x. So minus 2x divided by x. What is minus 2x? It is the remainder, the first term in the remainder we got in third step. Now treat that remainder as your new dividend. Okay, so the very first term is minus 2x, so I have written here minus 2x divided by x as the first term in g of x. X will get cancelled and what you are going to get is minus 2. Now treat this minus 2 as a new term of the quotient. Now write it in this way. 3x square plus x minus 1 we have seen in the step 3 only. 3x square is getting cancelled. You are getting new dividend as minus 2x minus 1. Okay, now write new quotient as a minus 2. Now multiply this new quotient with the divisor, that is minus 2 into x. So it will be minus 2x. Write below minus 2x of the new dividend now. Then multiply this term minus 2 with the second term of g of x, that is minus 2 into plus 1 is minus 2. So write it below the second term of your dividend, that is minus 1. So below minus 1 write minus 2. Now this minus 2x minus 2 we have to subtract from the new dividend. So when you do subtraction, minus of minus 2 will be plus. So I have written here plus sign. Minus of again minus 2, it is plus. So I have written here plus sign. Now subtract it, 2x minus 2x plus 2x will get cancelled out. What you will get? 2 plus 2 minus 1 is 1. Now what you are getting? 1 as a new dividend. But remember, the degree of the new dividend must be at least equal to or greater than your divisor. But here what is the degree of new dividend? It is 0. What is the degree of divisor? It is 1. So now we cannot divide this division further. 1, this is the end of this division. Okay, you have to divide two polynomials till you get the remainder whose degree is less than that of the degree of divisor. So here the degree is less, now the division is ended. Okay, so what is the quotient you are getting? 3x minus 2. What remainder you are getting? It is 1. Okay, I hope you understood this. So the same thing is written in step 5, that you have to repeat doing the division till you get the remainder whose degree is less than that of the degree of divisor. Okay, same thing is written here. Degree of remainder is 0, degree of divisor is 1, hence 0 is less than 1, hence 1 is the remainder. Let me know if you have any query about this. There is a point to remember. If we carefully look at the above example, the remainder obtained on dividing p of x by g of x is same as the value of the polynomial p of x at the 0 of the polynomial g of x. See what to mention here is, instead of doing all this long division procedure, if you simply put the 0 of g of x, what is the 0 of g of x? G of x is x plus 1. So what is it? 0? Its 0 is minus 1. We discussed this thing in the previous class. Those who are not getting this, please refer the previous lecture. Okay, so here the 0 of g of x is minus 1. What we have to do is put this minus 1, this 0, that is minus 1, in the polynomial p of x, that is dividend polynomial. What you will get? You will, in place of x, you have to replace minus 1. Okay, because we have considered x is equal to minus 1 because it is the root of your g of x, that is divisor polynomial. So I have substituted minus 1 in place of x. Okay, what I am getting? 3 into minus 1 square. Minus 1 square is 1 plus minus 1 is minus 1 minus 1. So you will get 3 into 1, that is 3, minus 2. So 3 minus 2 is 1. Okay, now this you are getting the result as a 1. Now if you carefully look at this example, this 1 is also a remainder you get in the previous example, in the same example, but when you solve it by using long division process. Okay, the same thing you will get by using this in these 3 steps only, by considering the 0 of g of x. You don't have to find a remainder of the division of a polynomials. You need not go through all the process or the long division process. If you want a quotient, then we have to go through the long division process. But if you want to get a remainder, then this is the easiest way. By using this method, you will get remainder, the same remainder that you get by using long division. But in this way, your the time consumption is less. Okay. Let us prove with some more example. Here one more example is given. See here, the dividend polynomial is 3x raised to 4 minus 4x cube minus 3x minus 1, and the divisor polynomial is x minus 1. So we have to divide this dividend polynomial by divisor polynomial x minus 1. Follow the similar steps to do the division in this case also. Okay, try to do it, and you can refer this page also how we have solved it. The first term, consider the first term as 3x raised to 4. Here the first step was arrange every term in the polynomial in the descending order of their degrees. Okay, but here here already the polynomials are arranged in the descending order, so that step is to be skipped here. Okay, so let us move towards second step. What is the second step? To find the quotient, first quotient. Okay, so what you have to do is divide first term in the dividend by the first term in the divisor. So you will get 3x cube with this. Do try it out. Okay, so write 3x cube in place of quotient and multiply this new quotient now with the divisor. Okay, and write below the dividend. 3x raised to 4 will get cancelled. Subtract this now. Okay, so 3x raised to 4 will be cancelled out, and you will, what you are going to get as a new dividend or a remainder now, minus x cube minus 3x minus 1. Okay, so treat this as a new dividend. So what is the first term in the new dividend now? It is minus x cube. So divide this minus x cube by the first term of the divisor, that is x. Okay, so x will get, what you will get? You will get minus x square. So write in place of quotient only. Okay, multiply this now new quotient with the divisor and write minus x cube plus x square. Here see, the second term you are getting after multiplying is x square. There is no term in the new dividend with degree 2. So I have written the above space blank because there is no any term in the new dividend with the degree 2. Okay, so new term that I obtained, I kept that above space blank. Now again subtract it and try to solve in the similar way. Try to get it. The remainder will be minus 5 if you solve the same in the similar way. In above example, now let us try to find out the remainder using 0 of a divisor. Now instead of going through this long division process, let us try to find out the remainder with a 0 of a divisor. So here what is divisor? X minus 1. What is the 0 of a divisor? It is 1. So put x is equal to 1 in place of x. Wherever there is a x in the p of x, replace it by 1. What you are going to get? Try to solve it. 3 into 1 raised to 4 minus 4 minus 3 minus 1. When you solve it, answer is minus 5. Minus 5 is the remainder you got by this method, and by long division also you got the same remainder. If you go through the previous slide, you will see that you got the same remainder. Okay, so this is what is the remainder theorem. This is what the remainder theorem is telling us, that instead of going through the long division process, you can obtain the remainder of the division of two polynomials in this manner. Okay, so what this theorem tells us? It tells us that if p of x is any polynomial of degree greater than or equal to 1, and let a be any real number, if p of x is divided by the linear polynomial x minus a. Now what is linear polynomial means? It is the polynomial with the degree 1. That also we discussed in the previous classes. Okay, so if p of x is divided by x minus a, let us consider, then what is the remainder? According to this remainder theorem, the remainder must be p of a. In place of x, if I write a as a, because a is here the 0 of g of x. Let us prove this. Consider p of x is equal to x minus a q of x plus r of x. You know this theorem of division, that dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Okay, the same thing is written now in the form of this polynomial with the variable x. So instead of simply p, I have written here p of x, because p is a function of x. So p of x is equal to, what is x minus a? It is divisor. And what is p of x? It's a dividend. So write p of x is equal to x minus a, that is divisor, into quotient. So I have written here quotient as q of x, because that is also a function of x. So write q of x, it is also polynomial, plus r of x. R is the remainder, r of x is a remainder, which is a function of x, which also will be a function of x. So it is written r of x. Now what here we have to remember is r of x is a remainder with degree less than divisor. Right now we discussed that remainder must have a degree less than divisor degree. Okay, so here what is the divisor? X minus a. What is its degree? Is 1. The degree of x is 1, x minus a is 1. Okay, so what must be degree of your remainder? It should be less than 1, so it will be 0. So the degree of remainder must be 0. So when I am saying that the degree is 0, that means it's a constant term. It will not be a function of any variable. So we need not write r of x. Let us write simply r. Okay, because it's a constant term, that it must have a degree 0. So above equation will be p of x is equal to x minus a q of x, like in place of r of x I have written r. Now at the 0 of the divisor, that is x is equal to a, it is the 0 of a divisor. Replace x by a. So what we can write? P of a is equal to a minus a q of a plus r. Now a minus a is 0, so that term completely will be 0. What is the remaining term? The resultant term? P of a is equal to r. What does this mean? That is the remainder p of x, when x is replaced by a, that is the 0 of g of x, answer will be remainder. This shows us the remainder theorem. Okay, the same thing that we proved earlier also by using long division and the remainder, this method also. Okay, the same thing is been mentioned theoretically now. So this is the proof of remainder. Now let us apply this theorem and take some examples. Try to solve some examples. Find the remainder when x raised to 4 plus x cube minus 2x square plus x plus 1 is the dividend polynomial given when it is divided by x minus 1. So what we'll do, instead of going for a long division method, put x is equal to 1 as the 0 of your g of x or your divisor polynomial in the given polynomial. What will be answer? Try to solve it. It is x is equal to 1. Replace x by 1. You will get 1 raised to 4 plus 1 cube minus 2 into 1 square plus 1 plus 1. At the end you will get 1 plus 1 minus 2 plus 1 plus 1. Answer is 2. And this is the required. This will be the required remainder. If you go, if you repeat the same thing to get the remainder, if you go by long division method, you will get the same remainder. There is one more example. Check whether the given polynomial q of t is a multiple of 2t plus 1. There is a slight spelling mistake here. It's a multiple of 2t plus 1. So what they have asked is, any polynomial will be a multiple of another polynomial. When we can say this? Any number is a multiple of another number. Is we only can say this when you divide by that number by its multiple, or when any multiple number is divided by any number, its remainder will always be 0. For example, if the number is 36 and it is to be divided by 6, 36 is a multiple of 6. So if you divide 36 by 6, its remainder will always be 0. The same thing is applied here in case of polynomials. So here if I am saying that 2t plus 1, we have to check whether it is a multiple of given polynomial q of t. How will you prove? How will you prove? Try to find the remainder. If the remainder is 0, then yes, it is the multiple of 2t plus 1. If the remainder is non-zero, then it is not a multiple of given divisor. Okay, so instead of going again to find the remainder, we will use remainder theorem. So here what is divisor polynomial? 2t plus 1. What is it? 0. Q of t is a multiple of 2t plus 1 only if 2t plus 1 is divides q of t, leaving remainder 0. Okay, so now equate 2t plus 1 with 0 to get it 0. What is t? Minus 1 by 2. Here what is t? In place of x, here t is the variable used. You can use any variable. Okay, not necessary every time it should be x. It can be, you can use any other alphabets also. So here they have used t. So what is the value of t? It is minus 1 by 2. Now put this minus 1 by 2 in the given polynomial. So q of t I will write as q of minus 1 by 2. It will be 4 into minus 1 by 2 whole cube plus 4 into minus 1 by 2 square minus of minus 1 by 2 minus 1. If you try to solve it, okay, what is minus 1 by 2 cube? It is minus 1 by 8. What is minus 1 by 2 square? It is 1 by 4. Okay, so do try to solve it. At the end you will get 0. So if it is 0, then we can write that 2t plus 1, that is the given divisor, is a multiple of q of t. Okay, so by using this remainder theorem, with the easiest method, instead of going through the long division method, we could easily find out the remainder. Okay, and we can easily solve this example. We will see some unsolved numericals or problems based on this remainder theorem in the next lecture. Please refer the next lecture for some complex problems based on this remainder theorem. We'll try to solve it. Thank you and keep practicing till that. Thank you.